Hey everyone, my partner and I made Space Invaders, so we definitely don't deserve your vote. But I think it's still worth watching, taking a peek at our game anyways. It's still kind of a fun experiment. So our game is Space Invaders, but with a slight twist. It's Space Invaders, but since we were too lazy to code for the shields, we turned it into a bullet hell, insanely difficult Space Invaders, kind of like Kaizo Mario. So we present to you Space Invaders. So, the twist with the game is that the aliens will move incredibly fast at you, and they will also shoot 3 times a second. And as you will see through the next 3 minutes or so of gameplay, as I try to beat the game, it is insanely difficult. The hitboxes are very unforgiving, and you can run into bullets, which is quite annoying. I've only been able to beat the game 3 times thus far, and I have spent hours playing it. Okay, not out. Well, 2 hours is still technically hours, but whatever. At our lab checkout, I believe a guy spent 45 minutes trying to beat the game and couldn't do it. Now, another thing you may notice about the game, if you play it long enough, is there are a couple spots from which bullets can come. Bullets can come from any of the lines in which aliens are currently left over, and then also directly in front of your spaceship. Now, this started out as a bug in my code, but my partner and I decided that we wanted to keep it in to make the game as insanely difficult and unfair as possible. So you'll see, especially at the end, usually, when you have far fewer enemies, the amount of shots that go directly towards the player goes up. So at first, there is a sort of justification for this in the lore of the game. Essentially, our excuse for how it makes sense within the lore is that the aliens are using homing devices to shoot directly at you. Now, Dr. Valvano, I'm sure, would have preferred if we used some sort of trigonometry in order to make like diagonal shots, but we're too lazy for that. So let's see. Man, maybe I need to get good, bro. Haven't been playing enough Dark Souls recently. Now, as another thing you can also see is that I am constantly pressing the shoot button, and the reason for, we implemented a cooldown essentially that limits how fast you can shoot. But anyway, in a second I'll show you what happens essentially if you let the game run to fruition, or like if you essentially like let the enemies just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on forever, and how fast the game gets near the end. Okay, now those shots at the end were, yeah, pretty awful. Because of how the hitboxes are calculated, the enemies on the left side are always incredibly difficult to get. So you typically want to try to get them near the beginning. Alright, and I think this will be my last, yeah, that was my last serious attempt. And now I'll just show you what happens if you essentially, oh shoot. This is what happens if you wait it out. I'll move it closer so that you can hear the audio better. And my time is up.